So we've got our Acumatica environment. I'm going to kind of walk through a typical invoicing flow, and I'll show you how we can take advantage of Stripe tax to calculate tax on these invoices in Acumatica. We're going to start creating a customer, brand new customer to work with, so you can see what all information is required and how this flow goes. So I'm going to use some real data here. This is going to go to a real service that calculates tax on the fly. So I want to make sure the address information is accurate. Okay. I'm going to switch over to shipping and talk briefly about this tax zone. So Acumatica supports, it has a full service tax engine built into it. So you can support multiple tax engines out of Acumatica. So we're going to go ahead and set this customer to use the Stripe tax. There's a number of different ways we can set this up. We could default it, but here we've got it set. So this just ensures that it uses that Stripe tax engine. Save that customer. We'll go back to receivables and create an invoice. Although the flow that I'm going to use today is just the receivables invoice, this would also work with an invoice that's started in sales orders. So let's create or select this customer here. All right. And then we're going to come down here and start to add some products to this invoice. So as I add these, we want to make sure that these are accurate, but you can utilize the tax engine to select the right tax codes, just like any other product. And again, this will work for sales orders or AR. So I'll get some quantities on here. And I'll scroll over to the side over here. So we are taking advantage of these tax categories. This particular tax category is a Stripe category. So this, you'll import your various tax categories and assign them to the items, and they'll automatically come in, and that's what will get sent to Stripe. So let me go ahead and save this. Got a $12,300 invoice, and we should be able to just calculate tax and give that a second. Based off of the shipping location, which was the main location for that particular customer, and the tax categories, it calculated that that's about a little north of $1,000 worth of tax. So to get this sent to the customer, I'm going to go and remove the credit hold and release the invoice. Now we've got some more magic happening. So what this is going to do is sync the customer and the invoice over to Stripe and create a Stripe invoice and get that unique payment URL that the customer can then use to pay. So while we wait for that to come back, we'll give it a couple of minutes. I'm going to go and switch over to the user-defined fields. So there's a permalink. We can use, we can put in a few different links here. We put in the Stripe one. You'll see a customized one come back. But this link can be imported onto your PDF or sent in the email that you use to send to your customers, and basically give them a click to pay for that particular invoice. So should be done here, should be long done by now. So I'll go and give this a refresh. And of course you can automate this based off of that field getting populated. So we'll go ahead and copy that link. I'll open up a new tab and we'll come in here. We can see that $13,314 invoice right here. And I can go ahead and pay it with a credit card or bank account or whatever else you set up in Stripe, in Stripe. So You can even potentially use Apple Pay. I forget all the steps to set that up correctly, but I don't know that there's a way to test it. So we're going to come in here, put in our test credit card number and click pay. And then what we would expect is for that payment to be logged back in Acumatica. So the customer can download their invoice or a receipt for that transaction. And then the robots are working in the background right now, trying to relieve this invoice with a payment application. So we'll refresh this. Should happen pretty quickly. Oh, there we go. So we've got the customer, the payment amount, and allows that immediate relieval of the AR invoice. Last thing I'll switch over is the Stripe tax engine. So all of the reports, I forget exactly how to download a report, but Stripe will handle registering. You'll record everywhere that you're registered so that it'll keep track of what's taxable and what's not. And then you can export those transactions or analyze, and it'll give you the breakdown of which jurisdictions you owe tax to based off of your invoices. So that integration works fully with the taxes here. So